Welcome back to Hermitcraft. All right. Well, in the last episode, we had this little bit of a tour with Wells Night coming by, and that seems to have been quite well received, and appreciate that a lot. And while that was going on, I got started with some critter farming here. At least I got a few pens set up, one each for pigs, sheep, and cows. And of course, this means some breeding is going to have to happen, because they don't just breed all by themselves. So let me get a couple of tilling devices, because I figure I'm probably going to need more than one, even using iron. Let's see. Well, if I actually I can use this fence line as part of it. So I'll just, yeah, there you go. Move the torches up onto the fence. And so on. And then extend the fence this way, at least out to about probably here. And I will throw a fence gate here. Okay, I'm going to have some mess to clean up. Some derps to fix, like placing too many, which may or may not actually be too many. I may end up just making the thing a lot longer. I don't know yet. All right. Fix this. And another misaimed goof. All right. Now I figure a expansion on the standard farm design. Let's see. So we come in from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more, and right there, pop that down, throw one of those on it, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. And do another one, and so on, all the way down. So, yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another one. No, 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 and no. Yeah, I think I will extend this out. Basically, I'm taking several of these 9x9 farms and just putting them end to end. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Like so. Alright, now I just need to get a hold of some more water and do what I should have done to begin with, make a temporary water pool. Ah, yes. Ye old power shovel. Alright, this ought to take care of it. And now all I need to do is get this area tilled up. Well, fill that. Fill this in. Extend my fencing out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fence here. There. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this finished out. And what I'm going to be planting here is mostly just going to be carrots and wheat. Because carrots for the pigs, wheat for the cows and the sheep. Unless Mojang has managed to change that and I didn't notice. And yeah, get that set up and I'll be back. Alrighty. Got the whole thing planted up, at least as much as I can. Carrots, I got plenty of. Wheat, I had enough to plant a row and a half, or a row and 3/4 or whatever. And so that's going to take a couple or 3 cycles of harvest and replant to get the whole field planted. So that's going to take a little while. In the meantime, there is the matter of some landscaping that needs to be tended to. I have finally managed to bucket out the last of the lava in here, so I don't have anything standing in my way. You see, the wall here, I really don't want a hill right here for it to climb. So this whole area here, all the way over to the northeast tower, where that's going to be, needs to be leveled out. And pretty much all of the trees need to be taken down in that area. And I need a lot of this dirt anyway, because there is still a lot of lake left to be filled in. And yeah, you know what I need to do? I need to empty out what I'm carrying and make sure that I've got room to pick up all this dirt and cobble that I'm going to be generating here. And that's not to say anything about all of the wood that I'm going to be cutting. Alright, let's do that. Fortunately, I have some handy-dandy facilities right up here. Yeah, I was going to plant beetroot too, actually, come to think of it. I ought to get that done. Let's see, I got a couple of chests. Got at least one more. Yeah. Throw that in there. Get rid of that. Get rid of one of the buckets. Alright, just for the time being, that's going to be a dirt and cobble dump. But yeah, this beetroot, I should have done that when I acquired the carrots. I harvested my little dirt farm over there to get some of the carrots before I remembered I had a whole box of them in the shack. And I don't honestly know if there's much of a use for beetroot. I know you can make a soup with it. I don't know if villagers will trade for it. And right this minute, I can't honestly be bothered to look it up on the wiki. Although you'd think they would trade for it, because villages these days that you find in the world have beetroot planted. That's where I have, is at a village. Let's throw that in there too. So, I don't know. If you know, let me know. I'd appreciate it. All right. Next up, time to do some landscaping. Well, looks like I've made a decent little bit of progress. I got the base of the walls laid out a little bit, stretched out about halfway there. They still got a ways to go, and I still got a whole lot more trees to cut and a lot more land to scape and level out and whatnot. This area in here, the plan is to level it out completely, remove all of the currently existing trees, level it out, grass it over, fill that in, get rid of that sand, and so on. Over here, this bit of water here, I'm thinking actually, well, take out some of these trees and kind of beach the whole thing in with sand all the way around. Whatever that is there needs to be filled in and grassed over, and maybe some sand along the edge for the beach effect. I kind of like that idea. Maybe take that all the way around or something like that. Undecided just yet, but that's the rough idea at least. Get this all smoothed out and whatnot, and let's see, let's head down here. And of course there are always unpleasant neighbors about. Okay, all of this, level it out. And the problem here is that the ground around here isn't very thick, because we have a lot of this down here. And you know what my thought is? I would actually like to fill a lot of this in. Whatever excess cobble, andesite, diorite, granite, whatever that I've got, just use that to go down about 10 or 15 blocks from the surface and just fill it in from there all the way up. Because, you know, well, I know that structural integrity is not a thing in Minecraft, and that's great, actually. But it still feels like the ground around here should collapse, because a lot of it is only 1 block thick. And that's just not going to fly. Meanwhile, a lot of trees have to be cut. This area here has to all be leveled out to let the wall go through. As far as trees go, what I'm thinking is no trees within 10 blocks of the wall. And within 10 blocks of the wall, the ground needs to all be at the same level as the base of the wall. Just a thing. Okay, now, you know, I've been so busy with this that I haven't even looked over here. And yeah, we're ready for a harvest. And I'm probably going to need, like I said before, probably 2 or 3 harvest and plant cycles just to have enough wheat seed to get the whole blasted thing planted. But at the very least, I'll be able to get started with some of the breeding here. There's enough wheat to get started with it at least. Okay. Get this replanted, get the other row, what I've got of it. Plant as much as I can, and then take this wheat, and I guess at least a row of the carrots, and get started with my breeding, because I am going to need many, many, many breeding cycles. Let's see. All right, let's get this one. Okay, let's not eat my produce. Yeah. You ever wish you could sprint backwards? When planting crops, I wish I could sprint backwards. All right. And I think I've got a little bit of wheat seed left here. So I should use that up on the middle row, so that every time out I've got more planted until the whole thing is full. Meanwhile, I start work on generating a population explosion in the cows, the sheep, and the pigs. And it's probably going to be pretty cheap to start with. You, get over here with this one. Do your thing. Repopulation. Ooh. Now for the porkers. All right. And I'm going to get busy with the a lot of the farming and breeding. Do a lot of that off camera. Get set up to where I can do it easily and quickly. And probably also tear these out, the pumpkins and melons. Get rid of them. Get them out of here. Because I'm growing them down in the machine. As a matter of fact, I need to check down there. I made a change to the machine. Before, it was all set up exclusively doing melons on the non-reed part of it. I made a change and switched it over so that instead of being all melons on this first layer, every other plant is, well, it's alternating melons and pumpkins. And I also need to do a little bit of something else. A little bit of science, if you will. Something I noticed when Wells was over here in the tour. I want to test it. Oh, for crying out loud. What I noticed is it didn't appear... It didn't look like the things were growing when there was dirt directly above them. You know, when there was dirt directly above the stems, nothing was growing, it looked like. And I want to test that because that would be a problem. That means that at the very least, if I'm going to have another layer of crops on here, they're going to have to, at minimum, be a block higher. Either that, or I need to get more light in there because the dirt over it is blocking light. I don't know just yet, but I figure this is a good time to do a little bit of science to find out why. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to the output chest for this row. And let me empty my inventory, because once again it's jammed. Alright, that chest is now empty. I'm going to hang out here for about 10 or 20 minutes and let this thing run and see if any melons or pumpkins grow on this side of the machine with dirt above the stems. Okay, well, it's been about 10 minutes or so, and not one pumpkin or melon has grown in this part of the farm since I put the dirt over the stems. Now, I'm wondering if... Now, I don't think it's got anything to do with sky access, because these things grow underground anyway. But I'm thinking, what if I put a light source next to them? Right next to the plant itself. Will that help? I figure it can't hurt, so let's give it a try and see if anything happens. Alright, the first several of these have light sources right next to the plants themselves. And so I'm going to wait a few more minutes and see if anything grows in these spots. Alright, well, in spite of having the light right next to the stems, and I even extended that throughout the entire length of this section, nothing has grown. Not a single one. That means I'm going to have to, at the very minimum, move the dirt up one block and see if that will let things grow. But that's going to have to be for another time, because speaking of time, that is a resource that I am completely fresh out of as of right about now. So I'll be working on getting the breeding done and trying a few more things with the machine there to see what I have to do to get more melons and pumpkins growing in it at once, and so on. So we'll see what happens there. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.